Keir Starmer's Labour government is facing a full-blown crisis as an internal cabinet row over the P&O Ferries scandal has thrown preparations for a crucial global investment summit into chaos. The scandal erupted when Transport Secretary Louise Hay described P&O Ferries as a rogue operator and called for a boycott of the company, sparking outrage and threatening to derail a £1 billion investment project from P&O's parent company, DP World. The timing couldn't be worse for Starmer's government, which has been in power for just over 100 days and is desperate to attract foreign investment to the UK. The investment summit, scheduled for Monday in London, was supposed to be a showcase of Labour's pro-business credentials. Instead, the summit is now at risk of being overshadowed by internal divisions and diplomatic fallout over Hay's comments. The row centres around the controversy that erupted in March 2022, when P&O Ferries sacked nearly 800 workers without warning, informing them of their termination through a pre-recorded Zoom call. The scandal rocked the nation, and the company's actions were widely condemned by politicians, unions, and the public. P&O's parent company, Dubai-based DP World, has been a major investor in the UK, owning key infrastructure like the Port of Southampton and London Gateway, where the £1 billion project is slated to take place. However, Louise Hay's scathing criticism of P&O and her call for a boycott have now put that investment in jeopardy. Hay's comments, which she made in a recent media interview, came on the heels of a government press release announcing new protections for seafarers. The press release specifically targeted rogue operators like P&O, but it was Hay's boycott call that sparked the most controversy. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner also joined in, calling P&O's behaviour outrageous. Their remarks were intended to show Labour's commitment to standing up for workers' rights, but they've instead ignited a cabinet row that could cost the government dearly. The situation escalated on Friday when Starmer appeared to distance himself from Hay's remarks during a press conference, saying, "Well, look, that's not the view of the government." His comment was seen by many as a public rebuke of his Transport Secretary, and reports quickly surfaced that Hay was furious, feeling that she had been hung out to dry by Number 10. Insiders described both Hay and Rayner as being hopping mad that Downing Street hadn't backed them, given that Hay's remarks had been in line with the government's own messaging about preventing another P&O scandal. The fallout has been severe. DP World was reportedly so angered by Hay's remarks that it considered pulling out of the summit altogether, which would have been a massive blow to Labour's efforts to attract foreign investment. The £1 billion infrastructure project at London Gateway was suddenly in doubt, and there were fears that the entire summit could be overshadowed by the row. However, late on Saturday, it was confirmed that DP World would attend the summit after all, and the investment was no longer under threat. Starmer and Hay had reportedly spoken by phone, and the Prime Minister expressed his confidence in her, smoothing over the immediate crisis. But before we get into the deeper details of this political drama, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more in-depth analyses and breakdowns of the latest political scandals. Now back to the chaos unfolding in Starmer's government. While the immediate threat to the summit has been averted, the damage to Labour's image may already have been done. The row has highlighted deeper issues within the government, particularly around communication and coordination. Sources inside the cabinet revealed that neither Hay nor other senior ministers were informed in advance that DP World would be attending the summit, or that the company was planning to announce a £1 billion investment. This lack of communication has raised serious concerns about how Starmer's Downing Street operation is functioning, with insiders describing the situation as astonishing. The P&O scandal isn't just a PR nightmare, it's also a stark reminder of the challenges Labour faces in balancing its pro-worker agenda with its efforts to attract business investment. Labour has promised to be both pro-business and pro-worker, but the tension between these two goals has never been more apparent. One insider summed it up saying, "There's a real tension between the workers' rights stuff and the investment stuff. This is going to keep happening unless we sort out the comms and the grid." The government's inability to present a unified front on such a key issue has exposed cracks in Starmer's leadership, just as his government prepares for what should have been a triumphant moment on the world stage. The P&O saga dates back to March 2022, when the ferry company made headlines for all the wrong reasons. P&O sacked 800 workers with no notice, informing them of their dismissal via a pre-recorded Zoom call. The public backlash was swift and severe, with P&O CEO Peter Hebblethwaite facing a grilling in front of the Commons Business Select Committee, where MPs accused him of being a shameless criminal. Despite the uproar, Hebblethwaite defended the decision, claiming that P&O Ferries was financially unsustainable without the drastic staff cuts. Fast forward to 2024, and Labour is still dealing with the fallout from P&O's actions. The government recently unveiled its flagship bill to improve workers' rights, which includes measures designed to prevent another P&O-style scandal. However, Labour's efforts to champion workers' rights have clashed with its need to maintain good relationships with key investors like DP World. The company owns major infrastructure assets in the UK, including the London Gateway and Southampton ports, and its participation in the investment summit is seen as crucial to Labour's plans to boost the economy. The irony of the situation isn't lost on political observers. The same week that Labour is trying to convince the world's top business leaders to invest in the UK, it's embroiled in a public spat over the treatment of workers by one of the very companies it's courting. Liam Byrne, chair of Westminster's Business and Trade Committee, defended Hay's criticism of P&O, saying, "Lou Hay was absolutely right to say the behaviour of P&O, owned by DP World, was unacceptable. But we need to move forward and ensure businesses play by the rules, especially with the new Employment Rights Bill coming through." This latest cabinet row comes on the heels of another high-profile resignation within Starmer's inner circle. Sue Gray, Starmer's former chief of staff, stepped down just days ago after weeks of bitter internal arguments. She was replaced by Morgan McSweeney, one of Starmer's closest aides, but the leadership transition has been anything but smooth. The P&O row has only added to the perception that Starmer's Downing Street is struggling to maintain order, with one insider calling the situation a mess. Despite the turmoil, the investment summit remains a critical moment for Starmer's government. Both the Prime Minister and Chancellor Rachel Reeves are set to attend, along with many of the world's leading business figures. The summit is designed to showcase Labour's new industrial strategy, which aims to provide long-term stability for investors and foster economic growth. Reeves has been particularly vocal about her optimism for the UK's future, stating, "We have some of the brightest minds and greatest businesses in the world, and this government is determined to deliver on Britain's potential." However, the row over P&O has cast a shadow over what should have been a major moment for Labour. The controversy has raised doubts about the government's ability to balance its pro-worker, pro-business message, and it's left Starmer scrambling to contain the fallout. For a government that's only 100 days old, the stakes couldn't be higher. The investment summit is not just a chance to attract foreign capital, it's a test of whether Labour can deliver on its promises to both workers and businesses. As the summit unfolds, all eyes will be on Starmer and his cabinet. Can they present a united front and restore confidence in their leadership? Or will the P&O scandal continue to haunt them, casting doubt on Labour's ability to manage both economic growth and workers' rights? One thing is certain, the cracks in Starmer's government are showing, and how they handle this crisis could define their political future.